Even when I used to work out all the time, when I used to work out, when I used to work out.
Ever have protein powder? Yeah, I used to have it. When I used to work out, I used to take protein powders.
I myself, I jerk off at least twice a day.
Wow.
Once in the morning, right after I work out, and then once right after lunch.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. So yesterday, we had a good podcast, and then we jumped into the first stream, which was Tekken 8. Now, originally, the idea for Tekken 8 was that I was going to learn a new character, but in order for me to learn a new character in a fighting game, it's not as simple as pick the character, go into training mode, play for 20 minutes, and jump online. That's not how it works, all right? In a fighting game, if you're actually trying to learn and be good and play well, you need to study. And what that would entail is me going online on YouTube, finding tutorial videos, watching things like basic strategies, basic combos, basic punishes, right? Things like that. Then watching some matchups to see how people implemented that character. That's literally how I learned Street Fighter 6. That's why I was able in Street Fighter 6 to basically get as good as I did and get multiple characters to master level. That was the only reason. And previously, I never really studied fighting games. It was always hands-on learning. But today, because I'm a full-time streamer, people don't really enjoy the hands-on learning. They want to see me start playing and kind of know what I'm doing right from the get-go. So
Yes, Phil, people want to see you be entertaining when you claim to be an entertainer. At no time do I turn on any kind of show with the expectation of seeing the sound guys and set designers hard at work. You need to have your product polished and ready to go. Sometimes this will mean doing shit after hours, before hours, or whatever. And I'm not saying studying fighting games isn't difficult. As I said in previous videos, I don't know because I don't know much about fighting games. But you brag about this being your hobby as well as your job, and you get incredibly upset if people don't think you're good. So it would seem obvious, dude, to make sure your character or whatever is as polished as necessary, and this whole rant I'm guessing I'm about to hear could be summed up with, hey, my character isn't ready for online play, I'm trying to get ready as fast as I can, I'll keep you updated when I have a date they'll be ready. But that's too complicated, dude. It interferes with his schedule, which he makes and controls and could easily change, but we know he's not going to.
the idea was I was going to use a new character, but what happened was Sunday, I was here in this office, extra overtime working all day long on React content. We had the React show on DSP Reacts, we had the Dark Souls React stream on DSP Throwback, and I had a private Patreon video of over an hour length to make. So once all that was done, I was like, dude, I am so burnt out that I can't be watching Tekken videos all night to try to learn a new character. So I said, I'm not going to do it. And then originally what the plan then was that I was going to probably pick one hour of each of the characters who I've used in Tekken. So 1 hour of Paul, 1 hour of King, 1 hour of June, and do like an hour each in this multiplayer session yesterday. But that didn't work out that way either, and here's why. When I started using Paul, I realized, oh crap, my Paul is way under level. And what I mean by that is even though there's a general point total that you maintain in Tekken when you play online, each character has to still go through individual ranks. So I was kind of mistaken when I originally criticized Tekken 8 and says, oh, the ranking system is not like Street Fighter 6 because the characters are all grouped together. That's not true. In general, if you do really well with one character and you level them up, it will bring all your other characters up along with them, but actually not by that much. Because I would say right now my June is my highest ranked character, but even then when I went to use Paul yesterday, he was still way down at the bottom, like maybe in like the blue or maybe early green leagues, as opposed to, you know, I had to go through the yellow, the orange, the red to get to the better challengers.
So this video is a blind react, meaning I haven't watched what comes next, so I have to ask, what is the fucking point of this book report style update? Is it coming soon? I need the cliff notes, and Phil's painting this story out like it's a fucking Picasso.
I was like, oh, well, truth be told, you know, I'm way ranked low here with Paul. The whole first hour of me playing was essentially me spanking people who were nearly as good as me and didn't really know how to play the game that well. They didn't know his mix-ups. They didn't know how to stop anything he did. So because of that, it was just like a non-stop barrage of me whooping people. And after that first hour, people were like, wow, like even though it's satisfying seeing you win like that, we definitely want to see you have some challenge. So just keep playing with Paul. So I did. And in fact, the thing that was suggested to me was, why don't you make a custom outfit for him quickly, just like you did with June? That way it's not just the default Paul that we're staring at. So I did. I made an absolute silly outfit for Paul that we used. So we had like a stupid, like a Hawaiian style shirt, but it was like skulls and he had a guitar on his back and it looked really silly. And I proceeded to keep playing, and overall, I won twice as much as I lost. which is pretty darn good. Now, for clarification purposes, no, I didn't get to as high of a rank with Paul as I did with June. So when I'm playing with June Kazama, I'm fighting better players, and that's why I'm breaking even when I play with her. When I'm playing with Paul, I am getting there, and there were some losses. Like, I would say Dragonov right now is a tricky character for me because he has a lot of fast, safe moves that I'm not sure really how to read and or counter. I mean, he's got a launcher where he just his uppercut, and it's like a full screen range, and it freaking goes through everything, and it's instant. And I'm like, so he hits me with that, he gets a free like 50% combo, and it's so fast and so much better than launchers of other characters. I'm like, damn, that's a huge advantage for him. Also, his heat smash is crazy fast and does giant chunks of damage. So it's like,
oh my god, the point, Phil. Get to the fucking point. Like, I went back to Raw, Phil, and found the previous segments to this to see maybe I'm missing context, and nope. The previous segments were about why the suggestion box sucks, and Phil trying to center himself in camera. I'm not even joking, this is his podcast. And now Phil is going full autism in on Tekken mechanics and advanced combos and blah blah blah. Relate to the viewer, Phil. Why should anyone care about this shit?
It's character knowledge for me at this point. I'm facing certain characters that I've never seen before, or I don't really know what they're capable of, and then they just abuse stuff. Like, damn, I just got completely baited by this like 4 times in a row because I didn't realize the character had that. That's something that'll come in time. As I play more Tekken, I'll learn. Okay? So anyway, I ended up playing the entire stream with Paul Phoenix, which originally wasn't the plan. I won twice as much as I lost. I think I won like 40 wins and lost like 20 times or something like that. But I made great gains, you know, leveled him up pretty high. If I play with him again now, I should be at a level where I'm going to be fighting good comp, okay? So that's a great thing. But I definitely noticed something, and you guys are going to probably notice it too, especially if you're those who watch videos on demand as opposed to the live streams. I can now definitively tell all of you, I am not getting nearly as much. I mean, I'm getting like a fraction of the views and attention on Tekken as I did on Street Fighter 6.
You have got to be fucking kidding me. All that, and that was at 125% normal speed. Yeah, I bumped him up another 5%. All that bullshit was to tell you, you slackers, you're not giving me enough attention and money. Just straight up a 3-minute rant for this.
Money, please! Money, please.
I remember hearing It's a Gundam, big ups to It's a Gundam, who introduced me to Filbert, talk about the first time he and his buddy on Twitch were tipped $1. You would have thought they gave him the world because someone paid actual money for them having fun. That's the story I want to hear from my streamer, not, I've noticed a drop in revenue from the previous quarter's earning, which is having a direct impact on the acquisition of Hogan's and Jin.
Case in point, those videos with Paul, which is good gameplay. It's me kicking butt with Paul, getting big combos, learning strategies, mix-ups, doing good stuff, and getting progressively better. It's good gameplay. You know, it is. It's my journey with Paul to get better. Those videos in 24 hours don't even have 300 views each.
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
Then people don't want to watch them, Phil? I'm confused. How exactly do you think it works, Phil? Do you think YouTube monitors how well you're playing and then compels people to come watch if you're doing good? You had 300 people watching. Be happy you had 300 people watching. Is this hard? Am I the asshole here? Because the guy is acting as though his performance in the game has a direct causal effect on his view count and support. Phil, they may not like seeing you win. I know I like seeing you get bodied and whining like a child. It gives me stuff to make videos on because then I can point and laugh at you. I mean, this kind of toxic shit also gives me stuff to make videos on, but it's not as fun because this is who he actually is, and it's kind of disgusting.
You know? And I know that's a weird arbitrary number, but for me, over the years on YouTube, like, for any new game or something, you should look to aim at least to get 300 views. You know, within the first 12 hours, if you don't get 300 views within 24 hours, it essentially means there's not a lot of interest, right?
If you broke this observation or complaint down to a math equation, this is what it would sound like. So, what I'm seeking is A, but what I'm getting is B. And when you get B, that typically means C is occurring. And sure enough, it seems like C is occurring, but I don't know why, because I want A. Yes, Phil, you want views. And if you don't get views, it means people aren't interested. Meaning what, Phil? Could it mean that people aren't interested even though you want them to be? Do you see how simple this is?
And that's fine if you're balancing it with other stuff, but this is a brand new fighting game. It's only been out a week and a half, all right? When I was playing Street Fighter 6, right? And I was playing it and leveling up and stuff. There was 2 to 3 times as much interest as this. We had more people on the streams. We had more people engaged and invested in it. We had more people supporting it, and we had more people watching it. Okay? So here's the thing. I don't think it's me, because I'm actually approaching this game the same way I did Street Fighter 6. I'm studying. I'm getting better. I'm trying to learn. This is not me just messing around with the game and losing and then raging at the game. I'm actually legitimately trying to understand why I'm losing. I'm asking questions of the chat. Hey, why do you think I lost that? What is it with this move? What was that move? Was that his heat smash, or was that something else? How do you avoid that? Can you punish that? And I'm trying to learn actively. I want to get better at Tekken because I really like this game. And quite frankly, I've always liked Tekken. I just never had the investment in it as I did Street Fighter.
I want to run that back because we're counting the I statements in that.
And that's fine if you're balancing it with other stuff, but this is a brand new fighting game. It's only been out a week and a half, all right? When I was playing Street Fighter 6, right, and I was playing it and leveling up and stuff, there was 2 to 3 times as much interest as this. We had more people on the streams. We had more people engaged and invested in it. We had more people supporting it, and we had more people watching it, okay? So here's the thing. I don't think it's me, because I'm actually approaching this game the same way I did Street Fighter 6. I'm studying. I'm getting better. I'm trying to learn. This is not me just messing around with the game and losing and then raging at the game. I'm actually legitimately trying to understand why I'm losing. I'm asking questions of the chat. Hey, why do you think I lost that? What is it with this move? What was that move? Was that his heat smash, or was that something else? How do you avoid that? Can you punish that? And I'm trying to learn actively. I want to get better at Tekken because I really like this game. And quite frankly, I've always liked Tekken. I just never had the investment in it as I did Street Fighter.
18 fucking times. Wow. So this begs the question, Phil. Why does the viewer care at all? If you like the game or are learning it or are having fun, at what point does you having fun translate to them giving you money? What is your product? Do you see the problem yet, you narcissistic fuck?
And I'll be honest, I think Street Fighter 6 is played out. Now it's been out, what, 8 months? And every time I play it, it just feels like it's more of the same, people playing exactly the same way, abusing the online connections and getting away with stuff, and it's just not that fun anymore. Sure, every once in a while to do a stream of it probably would be neat, but until they either rebalance it with a Season 2, or they add enough significant new content, I don't feel like I really want to play it that much anymore. I'm burnt out on it, you know, I'm not really enjoying myself when I play that game. But here's the thing, people ask for months, oh, I can't wait for Tekken. When Tekken comes out, really excited to see Phil play Tekken again. And then when I started playing it, people were like, we're shocked. We thought Phil was not that good at Tekken, but he's decent. I would say I'm average at Tekken. I'm not good at this game. I know I'm not. I don't have character knowledge to be good. Once I learn the characters, and I know their moves and capabilities, and I learn what's blockable, what's not, what's parryable, what can be punished, how do you dodge this? Do you duck it? Do you know? Once I figure that stuff out, then I'll say I'm getting better at Tekken. Right now, I feel like I'm just average. I have fundamentals, or I'm getting fundamentals in this game because I played Tekken before, but it's definitely not as good as I am at Street Fighter. But again, even then, people were like, wow, we're surprised. You definitely are better than you let on. The way you were talking is that you're not good at the game, but look, you're getting win streaks and everything. I mean, you're right, but I've also been playing at the lower levels. Take a look at what happened with Paul. As soon as I got to a level where people knew what they were doing, then the matches were much closer, and it was kind of back and forth as opposed to me dominating, right?
Is there a call to action here, Phil? Are you asking for something? Are you trying to prove something? Because that was almost 15 seconds of useless information. Unless there's a, so I need, or so can you type question after it. I can't stand that Phil feels the need to talk this much. I've said it before in previous videos. I'm a conversational narcissist. Not maliciously. I don't try to take over conversations. But the way I was raised was that when someone tells a story, if you can relate to that story with your own story, then you just found something that both of you have in common. I've recently learned that many people see that as selfish and making it about yourself, so I'm having to learn. But that's real style social interaction. There's no one over at Phil's house. There's a camera. He doesn't have to fight for time to speak, so please, Phil, I beg you, get to the point.
But yeah, like just, it's indisputable at this point. Take a look at the reaction and the amount of attention that Tekken 8 is getting on this channel versus Street Fighter 6. It's night and day. Now, you might say there's various reasons for this. Number one, all right, I'm not known for fighting games. And, I was at one point. I was actually known as, hey, that's the guy who plays Super Turbo online. That's the guy who messes around with Street Fighter 4 and does fun Madness series sets, and those are really fun too, right? I used to do that stuff. Quite frankly, I was known as the guy who freaked out when playing fighting games and yelling at their opponents in a toxic way, and people thought it was funny, and that was the shtick that got me popularity on YouTube for fighting games back in the day. It wasn't my skill level. Honestly, I think today, with the level that I am at in Street Fighter 6, with multiple characters at master level, already the level I'm playing at in Tekken 8 a week and a half in, this is much better than I've played in fighting games ever on YouTube before, except Super Turbo. That would be the one game I would say, yeah, I played at a high level at that game. But outside of that, of a new fighting game, these are the best I've ever performed in new fighting games, right? So that's the thing, and it's like, so what exactly am I supposed to do differently? I honestly don't know, all right? Because right now we've come to a point where I have to make a decision. So let me explain to you what I mean by that. And no, it's not, am I dropping Tekken? No, because I'm not dropping Tekken. I like Tekken. I'm going to keep playing Tekken, okay? But here's the decision that we have to come to, all right? I'm not going to be playing Tekken 8 as much as Street Fighter 6. I can't. Why? Because number one, right now there's a lot of other games going on that I need to continue to make progress in. And if I play as much Tekken as I did Street Fighter 6, I won't make the progress in those games that I need to. All right, so that's just being matter of fact. But number two, Tekken is not getting as many views, attention, or support as Street Fighter 6 did. So because of that, I just can't play it more often. I can't be playing it 4 or 5 times a week like I was doing with Street Fighter 6. It wouldn't support the business. You understand? It just wouldn't.
So it's an ultimatum. It's a, if you like Tekken, you need to pony up and give me money or you're not going to see it as often. That whole explanation of how awesome he is at Tekken and Street Fighter Turbo or whatever was to say, you know what, shit, I'll do it for you, Phil. Welcome everyone to the Level 2 podcast, because yes, I believe I am better than you, Phil. I'm Broside Phil, and last night was a great night for Tekken, and I had a great time. Thank you all for coming out and supporting. We'll be going to play some different games now, but don't worry, I'll still be playing Tekken. Next on the agenda, DC Phil, what took you 100,000 words took me 63. Thanks, word counter. Why are you like this?
Yesterday, I barely hit the tier 1 goal for tips, and everything else was slow as hell. Like, basically, it was like, wow, I'm doing a daytime stream of Tekken, thinking that it's going to bring in more viewers, and it actually kind of did the opposite. Like, I probably would have done better playing any other game. And I'm like, wow, I'm surprised at this. I am. I'm definitely surprised at this. It confuses me because, again, the vibe that I was getting from my audience for months was, we're getting bored of Street Fighter 6. We can't wait for Tekken 8 because we like how you covered Street Fighter 6, so we want to see that in another different fighting game franchise. So that's exactly what I'm giving you, but definitely the attention's not there for it. All right? So my question is, how do I approach moving forward in Tekken with all of this being the case? And here's the 2 scenarios. Number 1, I play the game more casually. And what I mean by that is, I take maybe like once a week, I pick a new character. And maybe like for Friday night fights, you know, I go into training mode and I do a half an hour of practice. And then we play for about 90 minutes of online play. And then I do another stream later in the week of online multiplayer with that character. So essentially you're talking like 4.5 hours of online multiplayer with a new character each week, where I just try to learn the basics. I start from the bottom, right? And I try to learn basics, combos, or whatever, and apply. And I can do that like once a week. Because at least I want to play Tekken 8 twice a week. Probably one night stream, one day stream. Okay? So if that's the case, then doing it that way, right? Maybe I can learn one character a week. And then over the course of a month or two, I'll know like 8 or 9 characters. Okay?
Let me sum up all of that. I have an idea. I'd like to do one of the following 2 things. Either 1, play Street Fighter more casually, but at least twice a week. And I can't finish this bit because Phil still hasn't told us what the second thing is.
That's one approach. All right? The other approach is, instead of doing that, I focus in on 3 or 4 characters that I like, that I'm good with, and that I'm getting better with. And I really try to improve with just those characters, and I basically get to a much higher level of gameplay. It'll be way more challenging. It'll be frustrating because people are going to be good. They already are. Like when I'm playing with June, I'm playing damn good players who are mixing me up and hitting me with stuff I've never seen. I'm like, damn, you know, this is going to be hard to hang with these players when I really don't know what I'm facing. You know, it's complete lack of game knowledge because I haven't really played this franchise that much, right? So, in this regard, if I really only focus on 3 or 4 characters, it's going to be like Paul, King, June, and maybe I pick one more, all right? And then, every time you see me play Tekken 8, it's going to be me focusing on those characters. You know, maybe on Friday Night Fights, it'll be one character. And then when I play it again on Monday or Tuesday, it'll be one of the other characters. And then the next Friday Night Fights, it's the other character. And I kind of rotate. Because if I do that, then I feel like if I'm focusing on the same characters and I'm studying, I'm watching matchup knowledge online and stuff like that, I'm going to learn. I'm going to get better. You're going to see me climb the ranks. It'll be slow because it's not going to be like Street Fighter 6 where I was playing it constantly. But it'll be slower progress, but it will still be progress. You understand?
This whole thing couldn't have been done via a community post, Phil. You had to have the board meeting. This was the best use of your time today. Jesus, the guy really does like to get in his own way, doesn't he? He would have had a half an hour extra for Q&A or the suggestion box if he would have outsourced this question to a forum or a Discord or the community post, like I said, or any other way of getting feedback from his audience that didn't require a fucking thesis on his income and business strategy or lack thereof.
Here's the thing. there's just not enough attention on Tekken 8 to warrant me playing it more or as much as Street Fighter 6. Therefore, you're not going to see the same things happen like happened with Street Fighter 6. For example, in Street Fighter 6, I literally within a month played like with 10 characters. I did. Like I was picking 2 characters a week and learning them and going online and messing around. Now, I wasn't good with all of them. For example, DJ I played once, did horribly, never went back. Minot played once, did horribly, never went back, right? But through me playing so many characters, I finally caught on with those that I really liked, and it allowed me to learn and get better and then latch on to, say, 4 or 5 that I really liked and bring them to master level. With Tekken, I'm not going to be playing it that much. So I'm not going to be able to play 10, 15 characters and then pick out of those the 4 or 5 that I like. It's got to be one or the other. Either I play it casually and you will see more variety, but I just won't do that well. I won't get good. Or I focus on a smaller group of characters and I do get good, but then you're not going to see a lot of variety, right? And I feel like, again, I'm in one of those situations that no matter what I do, I can't please everyone. There's going to be some people who are always going to be asking for another character. It's happening right now. I'm not even kidding you. As I decided to play with Paul yesterday, there were people in the chat. So when's your new character? Is it going to be Yoshimitsu? Is it going to be Kuma? Who's it going to be? We're waiting. When's your next character? I'm like, can I just play with Paul? Can I just play and get better? Like, again, I think a lot of people, they don't understand how fighting games work. And that's fine, especially for those of you who've never played at a competitive level. But there is a grind involved. It's not simply you play with a character once, oh, you know them, now move on. That's not the case. There's always knowledge to be learned. There's always matchups to get better at. And that's the case. Like, I think what happens is people see me beat up people with Paul quick, and they're like, oh, he already knows Paul. No. I'm just beating people who don't know how to play. Once I get to that level, like it was at the end of yesterday's stream where people are better, now it's a big, more daunting task to get those wins. This is where the real challenge lies for me. You see?
We get it, Phil. You like Tekken. Can we move on now? My God.
And I hope that you guys will continue to tune in no matter what I do. But at this point, I do need feedback. What would you like to see? Do you want to see me keep playing with new characters and just learn general knowledge about the game and not get better? Or do you want to see me play with 3 or 4 characters, focus in solely on them, and get better? Because there's got to be a choice at this point. If I'm playing it twice a week, we have to make the decision now so I know how to approach it. Like this coming Friday night, right? My choice is either pick a new character or play with King again. Because I haven't played with King now in a week, and I would like to get better with King. I was doing well with King, and then I kind of hit a wall where I was like, oh, these faster characters are jabbing me and interrupting everything I do. So my next step with King would be go online and look for like punish stuff for King. What's his best, fastest move so I can punish people who are just spamming me with light, quick attacks? That's what I need to figure out. And I'll do that, or I'll learn a new character. So it's like, so what do I want to do? What do you guys want? You know, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I can see the sides of both of it. Back in the day when I played a fighting game, I learned every character, and I didn't get good at it. Like, that's what I used to do. Remember when a new Street Fighter would come out? I would just play every character. Today we're doing Ryu. Tomorrow we're doing Chun-Li. Then we're going to do this new character. Then we're going to do this one. And every day would be a new character, me messing around learning basics and doing a set online, and then on to the next, and then on to the next. But I never got good at the games. Like, I would argue Street Fighter 4, I was at best an average player. I never got good at it because I never focused on it. It was always me all over the place, right?
If after he chews his water, he goes back to talking about Tekken and Street Fighter and all those other things, I'm bumping him to 150%.
So, again, I don't know what to do. And I think, see, already, I'll tell you right now, in the chat, just listen to this. One person says, variety, getting good is for yourself. Variety is for fun in the audience. Let the pro competitor mentality go. Next person says, just pick new characters later. Focus on Paul, King, and June right now because you're learning. That's two lines next to each other in my chat. So it's like, Abdullah says, play different characters. No point getting better with a character because you're a variety streamer. If you focus only on Tekken 8, then it makes sense. But for the sake of being a variety, do that. And then Crackerjack's next line, get good at a few characters. That's your best content. I think I rest my case in my point that it doesn't matter what I do, I disappoint people because everyone wants me to do everything, and sadly I can't do every scenario, you know, especially with this. I'm getting pulled in all these directions. Keep playing Baldur's Gate, get further in Like a Dragon. Hey, we really like the Chill Pal World streams. Man, your React stuff's really good. Do more retro React streams on DSP Throwback. Oh, by the way, play more Tekken and do 2 different things in Tekken at the same time. Ay, ay, ay.
Make a decision, Phil. It's your fucking business. Just make a fucking decision. Because no matter the decision you make, you will always be a colossal disappointment. After Phil gets up for no fucking reason, he leaves chair host to just run the stream for about 20 to 30 seconds. No, hold on real quick, just leaves. But to not waste your time, I'm cutting that part.
I have a request of the on-demand audience, meaning those of you who are watching this podcast right now on demand. You're not here live for the stream. Because every day, I get feedback from the live stream. All right, I do. I get good feedback and I weigh and balance it. Who I really want more feedback from is the on-demand viewer. Those of you out there who just watch everything after the fact because you're not here to give me your feedback live, okay? Here's the thing. I'm distinctly noticing a difference in the viewership of Tekken when it comes to the on-demand videos. The videos for Street Fighter did really, really well, and then it tapered off after like a month or two. With Tekken, we're a week in, and already the views, like I said, the Paul gameplay from yesterday was good gameplay. I'm getting better. I'm playing better. By the end, I'm having really fun competitive matches. I can't even get 300 views in 24 hours. So what gives? That's what I'd really like to know. Like, what gives? What's the difference between this and Street Fighter? Was there a reason that you watched the Street Fighter footage and you don't like the Tekken? I really want feedback because I want to be putting out content you guys like, and I want to know what it is. That's the definitive difference. Because I thought there would be, like, kind of hitting a reset button. I really thought that hitting a reset button with the fighting game would rejuvenate interest. I thought that the interest for fighting games had tapered off because I kept playing Street Fighter 6. Now what I'm starting to realize, maybe it was just, people are just burnt out on fighting games because I played them for 7 months straight, and now it's just not that special anymore, right?
We've been through this, Phil. You've said this whole fucking thing 20 minutes ago. Here, let me do your job again for you. So, if you're watching this podcast in the future, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. That's it! That's all that needed to be said. God, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Maybe that's what it is. I mean, maybe that's really what it is. People just got burnt out on fighting games in general, and I get that. Just think about this. Street Fighter 6 in June, Mortal Kombat 1 in September, Tekken in January. So within a 6-month period, 3 ginormous, high-profile, big fighting game franchises all came out with a new iteration. So that's a lot of fighting games in a short period of time. So maybe that's what it is, right? I'm not sure what to do about this. I want to make content you like. And I was under the impression people were all over Tekken 8 and waiting for it. That's the feedback I was getting on streams and everything. And then I tried to play this game, and it seems like there's just not that much interest, So what's the deal? I need feedback. I cherish your feedback. I want you to understand this. I really appreciate feedback. Please leave comments on this video if you're part of the on-demand audience. I want to know your opinion. Do you just not care about fighting games? You burn out on them because I played so many? Would you like to see me play new characters in Tekken and not really get good, but just casually play it? Would you like to see me focus on a few characters and get better at it? Like, what is it you want to see out of Tekken? Or is it that you just don't care about Tekken because fighting games don't interest you? That's really what I want to hear, okay? Please give me that feedback. Because here's the deal. Right now, having a fighting game balanced with 2 RPGs is the way to go. It's complete action as opposed to very slow combat in Baldur's Gate 3 and a lot of lore, or almost a very Japanese-centric RPG in Like a Dragon, which is great, but you see, you need that action. If I wasn't playing an action-based game right now, I feel like everyone would be complaining everything's too slow and boring. So Tekken's the thing breaking it up, which is great. But I need to play it in a way that entertains people, okay?
Okay, so you figured out you need to be entertaining. Can you take that knowledge and apply it to your podcast? Because you've repeated the same thing 4 or 5 times, Phil. It's a fucking recording. If they didn't hear it the first time, they can go back. You don't need to say it 5 times. Why do you feel the need to expound on every fucking facet of every nook and cranny of this information, and then do it 5 times?
So please, feedback needed. Because this Friday I'm playing it again, Friday Night Fights. So the question is, am I focusing in on King and doing a King stream on Friday night, where I will study some videos, watch some matchups, probably watch like a video that maybe we'll do a tutorial about how he punishes unsafe moves, and then try to get better with him. Is that what I'm doing? Or am I going to pick a new character, study up on them, and try someone from scratch on Friday? That's what I need to figure out. So please give me feedback. I keep telling you guys, feedback is essential. I get a lot of feedback from this live audience. I don't get a lot of feedback from you guys who are on-demand viewers. For whatever reason, a lot of the times I ask for feedback on these videos, and I get like next to none. And it's like, well, then I just got to make a decision best from what the feedback I got. But I want to be sure I'm doing the right things for everyone. My viewer audience here, on-demand versus live, I understand that they're different audiences. A lot of you guys who watch me on demand are people who are longtime viewers who watch me for years and years. Some of you only watch the podcast and then only watch gameplay when it's your cup of tea. A lot of people come back to the channel for the first time in months when a game is out that they're interested in. I think a lot of people will come back when I start Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And then later this year, there'll be more action-oriented games and more people will come back for those as well, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. And I need your feedback about how to cover this stuff, okay? Really. So please offer that up. I want that info, okay? Really, I need it because I'm just stumped right now. I'm looking at the videos. I'm like, wow, what a great set of Paul gameplay yesterday. I really hope that I pleased my audience because I really worked hard to get better with that character. And then I look at the views. It's like, what happened? Like, no one's watching these videos at all. Like, what the hell happened here? I don't know. If I'm getting more views on my turn-based RPG playthroughs than my action-based fighting game coverage, there's an issue. You see? And I really feel like, what is going on? So, let me know what's going on. Fair enough?
But why is that an issue, Phil? Your fans may be deep into the D&D lore and really like you exploring the world. Where is it written that if you like Baldur's Gate 3, you must like Tekken? Your fans are giving you their feedback. They're saying they like the turn-based RPG and they don't like fighting games. So, why aren't you listening to them? Personally, I find fighting games boring as hell because I don't understand all the mechanics of them. I don't hate them, but to watch them, I find them boring. So, why would I watch or contribute to you if you're playing a game I don't like?
What I love is when you get idiotic things said like this in the chat. He says, it's you, it's not the game. Oh, so that's why when I was playing Street Fighter 6, there was tons of attention and views, and now when I'm playing Tekken 8, there's not. Because it's me playing it. It makes no fucking sense. You're an idiot. Bye-bye. I love it. There's dunce level stuff like that. Completely worthless feedback, not constructive at all, just moronic stuff that some idiot says because they don't like me.
Phil, it's true. I don't like you. I think you're one of the most reprehensible people on the planet. But that doesn't change the fact that, yeah, it's probably you that's causing the low viewership. And it's probably your dents waking up to your toxicity. But that'll do it for this one. Again, I want to give big ups to Snort Hogan for the clip. Thank you, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar. I want to give big ups to anyone who watches these, especially to the end, my subscribers, people who like, comment, and share. And of course, the biggest of ups go to my members. Thank you so much. Till next time, swole is the goal for a troll. Lift heavy, eat clean. And by the way, Phil needs feedback. He needs to know if he should play Tekken casually or focus on 3 or 4 players so he can